So we're going to protect our plants for the upcoming winter, and there's different ways that the plants get affected by the weather. The first way is we have warm days, maybe it's 40 or 45, and then we have cold nights, maybe it's 20, 25, and that warm day to cold night back and forth freezes and thaws the soil, causing some root damage, which then affects the top of the plant next season. The second way that the damage can occur is from just the winds. So the winds dry out the moisture that's in the foliage. So if a plant doesn't have leaves, obviously that's going to be fine. If it's a leaf that's larger, like a rhododendron, andromeda, those things could probably get more burn than a juniper, which is a needle evergreen, or a cypress. So I'm standing right next to a boxwood here. It's a smaller size leaf, yes, but it still has the potential for the wind to dry it out during the winter. So there's a couple of methods to protect it from the winter. The first method, which I think is the smartest method, is to apply a product called Wilt Stop or Wilt-Pruf. We have them both in the garden centers. What it is it's a product that has a waxy substance that covers the cuticle or the foliage of the leaf. So imagine if this is the leaf and you spray this on the leaf, it protects it so that when the wind hits the sides of the branches and the leaves, it doesn't cause the moisture to leave the leaves. And this is something that will last right through the winter. Sometimes it does break down, so I do recommend applying it sometime in November. It has to be a 45-degree or warmer day. And then we get that January, February thaw. So maybe in mid-February, do it again. Again, it has to be 45 degrees. And that will protect it through the rest of the winter into early March. Take and spray it right onto the leaves, just like that. And what's going to happen is it create a little bit of a glossy sheen, so you know it worked. And basically it just covered all that foliage. So now if any wind comes there, it's a barrier to drying out the leaves. The other method to protecting plants is by putting burlap around it. So we have burlap in rolls. You just open it up. I've seen people take the roll of burlap and actually wrap it around the shrub. That's actually what I don't recommend, because the plant's still actively growing. You don't want the plant to have that kind of heaviness of burlap wrapped around on it, because it's going to suffocate it. So what I recommend you do is get a couple of stakes, open up the burlap. I stapled it onto the stakes with a staple gun. Drive the stake here, drive the stake here, drive it in the ground, and then voila, you've got a nice screen, which could actually act as a buffer for deer as well. And what's going to happen is the wind's going to slightly go through this, but it's going to break the wind so you don't have that desiccation. Now, personally, I feel if you're going to go through this step and do it every year, you might as well not have this plant where it's in a windy location. So the first thing is always plant the right plant in the right location so you don't have to do this. The Wilt Stop obviously doesn't require hiding the foliage, and we're planting plants for the winter interest. So why would I want burlap in front of any shrubs when I could have just the natural beauty of the plant? Hopefully those will be ways to prepare the plants for the upcoming winter.